If your toddler only eats beige food, refuses vegetables like they are poison, or suddenly rejects a meal they loved yesterday, it is very easy to blame yourself. Parents start wondering if they introduced food wrong, gave too many snacks, cooked the wrong meals, allowed too many safe foods, or somehow created a picky eater through bad parenting. But one of the largest recent twin studies on picky eating suggests that many parents may be blaming themselves for something that is much deeper than one bad habit at the dinner table. Researchers from UCL, King's College London, and the University of Leeds studied food fussiness using the Gemini twin cohort, which included 4,804 British twins. Parents reported on their children's eating at 16 months, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and 13 years old. Because the study compared identical twins, who share all their genes, with non-identical twins, who share about half, the researchers could estimate how much food fussiness was linked to genetics and how much was linked to the environment. Their conclusion was clear. Fussy eating was strongly influenced by genetics and could remain relatively stable from toddlerhood into early adolescence. UCL summarized the finding directly, saying that food fussiness is mainly influenced by genes, although the home environment still matters, especially when children are young. That does not mean parents have no influence, and it definitely does not mean you should give up and serve plain pasta forever. But it does mean the story many parents are told is too simple. Picky eating is not always proof that you were too soft, too strict, too anxious, too lazy, or too inconsistent. For some children, food refusal is partly connected to how their body and temperament respond to taste, smell, texture, novelty, and control. This is where many families get stuck. A child refuses the dinner, and the parent feels judged. They gag at a vegetable, and the parent feels like they failed. They eat the same safe food for the 5th day in a row, and suddenly dinner feels less like a meal and more like proof that everyone else knows how to parent better. The hardest part is that picky eating often happens in front of other people. It happens at family dinners, birthday parties, daycare, restaurants, and holidays, where the untouched plate is visible to everyone. At home, a refused vegetable is stressful. At someone else's table, it can feel embarrassing. That is when many parents stop responding to the child in front of them and start parenting for the audience around them. They push harder because someone is watching. They bargain because they feel judged. They say, just one bite, not because it is always the best strategy, but because they want to show they are doing something. And that is how picky eating turns into a battle. The first shift is to stop treating picky eating as a simple discipline problem. Some toddlers are naturally more cautious around food. They notice tiny differences that adults barely register. A banana is too spotty, the pasta shape changed, the chicken feels different, the sauce touched the rice, the yogurt is not the same brand, or the carrot is cooked when they expected it raw. To an adult, this can look dramatic. To a cautious eater, the food may feel unpredictable. When you see picky eating as pure stubbornness, your instinct is to overpower it. When you see it as sensitivity mixed with development, your strategy changes. You can still hold boundaries, but you stop treating every refusal as a personal insult. That one shift matters because guilt makes parents reactive. A guilty parent is more likely to pressure, threaten, bribe, compare, or give up completely. A calmer parent can create structure without turning every bite into a test of authority. The goal is not to win tonight's dinner. The goal is to build a child who can slowly become more comfortable around food. You can sometimes pressure a toddler into taking one bite, but if that bite comes with fear, conflict, gagging, or shame, the child may learn that new foods are stressful and adults are not safe around eating. That does not build curiosity. It builds defense. A better approach is to separate the parent's job from the child's job. The parent decides what food is offered, when meals happen, and what kind of emotional atmosphere exists at the table. The child decides whether to eat from what is offered and how much their body can handle. This does not mean the toddler gets unlimited snacks or a custom meal every night. It means the adult provides structure, while the child is not forced into a power struggle with their own appetite. One practical way to do this is to serve at least one safe food with the meal while still offering small, low-pressure exposure to other foods. If your child reliably eats rice, pasta, bread, fruit, yogurt, eggs, or a certain kind of chicken, that safe food can help them come to the table without panic. Then a small amount of another food can sit nearby without pressure. The child does not have to eat it for the exposure to count. For a cautious eater, tolerating the food on the plate, touching it, smelling it, licking it, or watching someone else eat it can be part of the process. This is where parents often miss progress because they are only counting swallowed bites. If a child who used to scream when a vegetable touched the plate now allows it to sit there, that is progress. If they touch a food they used to avoid, that is progress. If they smell it without melting down, that is progress. It may not look impressive to another adult at the table, but for a child with strong food caution, these small steps can matter. The second shift is to stop making refusal emotionally powerful. When a parent becomes visibly disappointed, angry, anxious, or desperate, food starts controlling the room. The toddler learns that refusing one bite can change the adult's face, voice, posture, and mood. That gives the food battle more power than it deserves. A calmer response sounds simple, but it is hard to do when you are worried about nutrition. You can say, "You don't have to eat it," and keep eating your own food. You can leave the unfamiliar food on the plate without giving a lecture. You can avoid turning the meal into a courtroom where the toddler has to explain, defend, or negotiate every bite. That does not mean you do not care. It means you are removing the performance from the meal. The third shift is to stop using labels that become identity. A child who hears "you're so picky" every day may begin to believe picky is who they are. A child who hears "you never try anything" may stop seeing themselves as someone who could change. Even if the words are said casually, they can become part of the story a child learns about themselves. It is better to describe the food experience instead of labeling the child. Instead of saying, "You're picky," you can say, "This food is still new for you." Instead of saying, "You never eat vegetables," you can say, "You're still learning this one." Instead of comparing them to a sibling, cousin, or friend, you can say, "Different bodies get used to foods at different speeds." That kind of language leaves room for growth. The fourth shift is to keep variety visible without turning yourself into a short-order cook. Many parents remove variety because they are exhausted. They know the child will reject most foods, so they stop offering them. That is understandable, but it can slowly shrink the child's food world. The Gemini study does not say environment is irrelevant. UCL's summary explains that genetics played a large role, but shared environmental factors were also meaningful in the toddler years, which means early family food experiences still matter even when biology is strong. So the answer is not to force variety, and it is not to abandon variety. The answer is calm, repeated exposure. If your child eats plain pasta, sauce can be beside it instead of mixed through it. If they eat toast, a small piece of egg or avocado can appear nearby. If they eat crackers, a little cheese, fruit, or hummus can sit on the same plate without becoming a demand. The point is not to trick them or hide vegetables in everything. The point is to keep new foods familiar enough that one day they may feel less threatening. The fifth shift is knowing when picky eating needs extra support. Most toddlers refuse food sometimes, and many go through phases where they become more cautious or repetitive. But parents should not ignore red flags if the child is losing weight, not growing well, gagging, or vomiting often, eating an extremely narrow range of foods, avoiding entire textures or food groups, becoming distressed at most meals, or if feeding is creating serious stress for the whole family. In those cases, it makes sense to talk to a pediatrician, dietitian, speech-language therapist, occupational therapist, or feeding specialist. This is not about relaxing so much that you miss a real problem. It is about removing blame so you can see the situation clearly. Because blame makes everything noisier. When parents blame themselves, they usually do not become more effective. They become more anxious. They push too hard one day, give up the next, bargain the next, and then feel guilty again. The child feels that pressure, and the table becomes tense before the meal even begins. Understanding the biology does not solve picky eating overnight, but it changes the emotional temperature of the problem. You stop asking, "What is wrong with my parenting?" and start asking, "What kind of eater am I working with?" That is a better question. Some children need more time, some need more repetition, some need foods separated, Some need tiny portions. Some need less pressure. Some need professional support. Some need parents to stop reacting as if every refused bite is a crisis. The key is that you are not trying to defeat your toddler at dinner. You are trying to help their nervous system feel safe enough around food to explore a little more over time. So if your toddler is a picky eater, the question is not, "Did I ruin this?" The better question is, "What pattern is my child showing, and how can I make food feel safe enough to explore?" That question moves you out of shame and into strategy. If this is happening in your home, tell me in the comments the one food your toddler refuses like it personally offended them, or the one safe food they would eat every single day if you allowed it. These answers usually show where the real food battle is happening, and they also remind other parents that they are not the only ones dealing with this. And if you want more research-backed parenting videos that cut through guilt, fear, and oversimplified advice, subscribe, because parents deserve better than being blamed for every difficult phase. The main thing to remember is this: picky eating is not always your fault, and it is not always something you can force your child out of with one perfect rule. Biology may set the sensitivity, but your response can shape whether food becomes a battlefield or a place where your child slowly learns to feel safe trying more.